How's it going, Rffflers? It's your Commissioner Eric coming at you live from the driver's seat of my car. As I drive to work, I blocked my face with my hand. I'm sorry, I'll drive like this now. Don't worry, Mom. I'm keeping both eyes on the road and both hands on the wheel for this whole video as best I can. But I didn't have time to shoot in the office this morning. I did get, pardon me, all the footage that I needed this week, but couldn't get the stand-up in front of the camera. So we're doing it this way. You can see, I think you can see like my forehead. I don't even know if you can see my mouth in this shot. So, anyway, normally I'll do what happened last week and what's going on this week, but I'm going to split it up into the championship bracket and the consolation bracket. I didn't get a chance to make a video last week because of Christmas, so I missed congratulating the teams that made it to the playoffs. Of course, that was Kyle, Dave, Natalie, Jared, Dan, and Catherine stole a spot from Rachel. Big clutch coming in at the end of the week there to get her in. So we'll talk about the championship wildcard brackets first. Our first game, we had Jared versus Dan, our 4 seed against our 5 seed. And it was projected to be very close, but it ended up not being close at all. Dan put up, I think, about 155. Jared came up very short. I could be wrong about that. I'm just going to stop making estimates about scores that I don't know about. So, anyway, with the win, Dan moves on to the semifinals to face Kyle, the top seed of the bracket. And Jared secures a spot in the 5th place, so he'll have a bye this week, and he'll play again week 18. On the other side of the bracket, it was Catherine versus Natalie. Natalie went from holding a first-round bye coming into week 15, and then she lost to Catherine last week in a rough way. It was close at the end. Natalie had a couple players on Monday night, I think. No, it was Sunday night. Monday night was like Miami, New Orleans. That one was not what it was. It was Sunday night. She had, I don't remember. But she could have brought it back. It got close. Just couldn't pull it out. So Catherine moves on with the win. She'll face Dave this week in the other semi-final. The winners of those 2 games will go on to the Rfffl Bowl, and Natalie will face Jared for 5th place. Here's a look at the bracket so you can see what I'm saying. I'll just overlay it. You can see. So like I said, we've got Kyle versus Dan on one half, and we've got Catherine versus Dave on the other. Natalie and Jared playing for 5th guaranteed. So we'll move on now to the consolation bracket. It was roughly the same, only 2 matchups in the wild card week. First one was Eric versus Kathy. Sorry, this car doesn't have their windshield or their headlights on, and it's foggy out. I got distracted, that's my fault. Eric versus Kathy, this one was also not close. I think it ended up being about a 40-point margin. I was up near 120, like high 120, and she was 87 points. David Montgomery, Dak Prescott came up big for me. I think they combined for about 55 points, so that was huge. So that moves me on to the consolation semifinals. I'll play against Rachel this week. And I think that one is, currently I'm projected to win that one. I didn't go over the projections for the championship bracket. I'll swing back around and hit those real quick before we move on. But I'm projected to beat Rachel right now, but that's because she's got James Robinson in her starting lineup, and he is on injured reserve, so he's out for the rest of the regular season. Once she makes a move there, it might be different. I think right now I've got, it's like 102, 103 to 91. So that one's projected to be pretty close. The other half of the bracket was Caroline versus Kang, and Caroline put up big numbers again. She has really hit her stride here at the end of the season. Unfortunate that it had to come this late in the season, but she went from 12th to now guaranteed somewhere between 7 and 10. With a big win over Kang, she plays Eric with a K this week. And I think Eric with a K holds the projections in that one as of right now. I haven't looked this morning. I looked yesterday when I was putting together all the graphics, so we'll have to see. But going back to the championship bracket, I think Dan is projected to... No. Kyle's got the projections on Dan. And then Catherine's got the projections on Dave, I think. I threw up the graphics when I was talking about it. I'll throw them up again now, but I think that's what it is. Up next, we move on to our transactions. Obviously, I'm not reading off a script, and there are a ton of transactions, including the ones that I missed from last week. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say the name of the manager, and I'll flash up the graphic for the moves they've made over the past 2 weeks, not including players that they picked up and dropped. So only the differences between their week 15 rosters and their current rosters. So first we'll start, I'll just grab Jared. I know he's made a ton of moves. So these are all the moves Jared has made. Not all of them, but the ones that, pardon me, have an effect on his roster this week. I saw he picked up Amir Abdullah. I know he dropped Cam Newton to pick up another quarterback. I think it was the San Francisco rookie, Trey Lance. A couple other moves. Hopefully those are all on the screen. Next we'll go to Kyle. I think Kyle's made some moves. If the team hasn't made any moves, I'm just going to flash has not made moves, but I am going to name all 14 teams in this. This is going to be a long segment, and I feel bad about it. So those are Kyle's moves. Dan, we'll go to Dan next. I know Dan's made some moves. I'll show those. I'm trying to remember like a specific one that he's made, but I can't think of any. We'll go Catherine next. And then Natalie. I don't know if Natalie's made any moves. I'm trying to think of some, but I can't think of any. But she may have. I think I wrote down some for her. I don't remember. And then we'll go Dave, and that'll round out, I think that'll round out our top 6 playoff teams. So these are the moves Dave has made, if any. I don't remember. Now we'll move on to teams 7 through 12. Anna and Susan obviously have not made any roster moves with no incentive to do so. 7 is Rachel. Let's see if Rachel's made any moves. I think she has. As I said, I don't remember. And then we've got Eric with a K. Number 9 was Kang. These are the moves Kang has made. I don't think he's made many. I know for a fact Gio Bernard, like I said, was still in his lineup. So I'm not sure if he's made moves. But those are Kang's. And then we'll come to me. I think the only move that I've made recently was I dropped, I moved someone to COVID reserve. One of my backup running backs. David Johnson moved to COVID reserve, so I picked up a wide receiver God, I don't remember. Just in case I need him. I don't think I've made any other moves. I'm pretty happy with my defense and my kicker. Up next, Kathy. These are the moves she's made, if any. I know she was going through some quarterback troubles. Trevor Lawrence, Taylor Heineke, all that stuff. And then Caroline, these are the moves she's made, if any. I can't think of any off the top of my head, of course, but they should be on screen. So we're going to call that our transaction section. It wasn't quite as talkative as it normally is, but we got there. Pardon me. Jeez. With the spring temperatures coming back, my spring allergies are coming back. That's no fun. But those are all the transactions, and now the most important part of this video is our puppy predictions. This was highly requested during the regular season. I was going to do it last week, but I didn't. These are only for the championship bracket, only the games that matter. So first we'll go to Louis and his prediction for the game between Dan and Kyle. We'll show you that right now. All right, Louis, in my hand. Oh, no, sir. No, not yet. Hang on. In my hand, I hold 2 treats. The square treat is Kyle. The circle treat, yes, the circle treat is Dan. Whichever treat you pick is your prediction to go to the Rfffl Bowl. Ready? Take one. Thinking about it? He goes circle. I think I said that's Dan. I don't remember which one I said, but I'll go back. And there's your prediction. Let's see if he's got it. So Louis goes with Dan in that one. Big choice for him, taking the underdog. That's huge. Dan has had a lot of momentum, but historically, I don't know if he's taken a game from Kyle yet, but now would be the time to do it and try to make a run for his third Rfffl Bowl championship in 4 seasons, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's the stat for him. Anyway, we'll move on. Texas Pete makes the call in the other game between Dave and Catherine. Let's show you what he said about that one. All right, Peter Man, I'm sorry that you're in your crate. This is the only way you take treats from me. I've got 2 halves of the same dentist stick in my hands. This left one is David. This right one is Catherine. I'm going to drop both of them in. Hopefully they fall properly so that it's easy to tell. So again, Dave, Catherine on the right. Whichever one you pick up first is your prediction to go to the Rfffl Bowl. Ready? I'll drop it a little bit closer to you. And there you have it. I guess it just was closer to him, but we'll have to count it. So Pete goes with Dave. I wasn't sure during the video, but I watched the footage back. The left one is the one that bounced toward him, and he took that one. Say what you will about lucky bounces, integrity of the predictions, yada yada. I don't want to hear it. So we've got, the puppies are saying it's going to be Dan versus Dave in the Rfffl Bowl, which is huge. And that would put Kyle versus Catherine in the 3rd place game if everything plays out how it should. We'll have more predictions next week, by which I mean we'll have 2 predictions, but they'll both be about the Rfffl Bowl. Until then, that's all I've got for you this week. I should have time to film next Thursday. I know most leagues are doing their championship this week, which makes sense because next week you're probably going to have starters out, but I think it's interesting. So the other thing I want to note before I cut the video, I'm working on a postseason survey to send out. It will just be like a Google form that you just go through, and it's like, you know, how do you feel about the season? Are you coming back next year? And then I've got some specific changes that I want people's opinions on regarding roster size, scoring, stuff like that. So I will send that out in the group text probably after this week's games, or I'll do it after the Rfffl Bowl. But keep your eye out for it. It's just, you know, feedback on the league and how we feel about it. Until then, I will see you guys. Good luck to the 4 teams in the semis and everybody else in the consolation bracket, including myself. Especially good luck to me. I hope I have the best luck of anyone. That would be pretty convenient for me. But I will see you next week, hopefully from my office. Go Bills. We play the Falcons this week. Should be easy. Should be a blowout. Cut that from the video. I don't want to jinx it.